welcome.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Good Grief.
Yes.
Episode 11.
Is it 11 already?
Mm-hmm. Last time was
10. Yeah. Awesome.
And
cool.
This is 11. It's a nice day. We got the door open.
Yeah. I'm airing out the house.
Yes.
It's time. It feels a little bit like spring, even though I think there is some cold weather coming again.
I heard that too.
But yeah, it's just nice to have the breeze come through.
The other day, I don't know if you can go in your mind and pull this smell.
Oh.
But the house the other day when I ran an errand, came back, and it was 75 degrees in the house, and it was kind of hot, and I had the windows open, but it just felt like summer, kind of like that warm, stale air where you're I need to run a fan or turn my air conditioning on because it just but it was in a welcoming way. I was excited about it.
Yeah, it's I haven't smelled that smell in a while.
Yes.
I haven't felt this way.
Yeah, and I think everyone's you keep seeing all these my seasonal depression has lifted.
Yes.
Did you post that?
I sent you a TikTok.
Oh, okay.
It's some lady, she's flipping the bird to the camera, and she's bye, and it's
to her seasonal
saying
depression.
Bye to my seasonal depression. Yeah, that's me.
We almost didn't get to record this because Taylor Swift, the Eras tour came out, and we were watching it. I said to Kristen, I have to work while watching the Eras tour. Then when I'm done work, we can record, but I need to watch the Eras tour.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of you, my little Swiftie.
I'm getting there. I'm slowly getting there. I just feel that I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan. I appreciate her. I think she's so talented. I think she's lovely, but I don't know all of her songs. I know her popular songs, obviously. And I've always been a big fan of her very first album, her country album.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Yeah. And I remember it coming out and being man, this girl is good.
And she's our age.
Yes. Yeah. So, but ever since I met Sarah, she's always been a big Taylor Swift fan, and not in an annoying way.
Yeah.
You're not an annoying Swiftie.
I'm a Swiftie, but I'm not in your face. Everyone needs to be a Swiftie.
Right.
But we've grown up with her as well.
Yeah.
Being the same age as her.
Yeah.
So.
89ers.
89.
So yes, she has had a lot of influence on me with the Taylor Swift thing. And so I'm slowly getting there. And at 9:05 last night, I turned it on Disney Plus. I was I'm going to watch this. I've been waiting for it. I didn't buy it. I just waited for it to stream. And
you almost bought it one day.
I almost bought it. And I turned it on, and I was pleasantly surprised at how entertaining and sexy she was. It was just a different side of her that I've never seen. Because I was telling Sarah, I've seen her do
SNL skits or Grammy
performances here and there, but I've never seen her do all of her songs at one time. And we haven't even gotten through half of it yet, and it's so good.
Them about Otto this morning.
Oh yeah, I should post it on our Instagram.
Oh, did you take a video?
I took a video.
Oh, you did say that. I haven't seen it yet.
So either. I turned on the concert this morning, and I was this is Taylor Swift, and he's looking at her, and he's that's Taylor Swift, and it's the Reputation era is when I turned it on, and he's just staring at it like this.
Yeah.
And,
baby, let the games begin.
Yeah. And he's wait, who is that? I'm it's Taylor Swift. It's Travis Kelce's girlfriend. And he's oh, that's Travis Kelce's girlfriend. So it started to click. I'm she's the biggest superstar in the world right now. I'm look at all those people. That's a football stadium. And he was oh my gosh. It actually says, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. And he's the true definition of he does not realize that Taylor Swift is bigger than Travis Kelce.
No, yeah.
But to him,
yes,
it's just Travis Kelce's girlfriend. He's the true definition of one of those people that are on TikTok, Taylor Swift made Travis Kelce famous.
Yes.
Or wait,
no,
vice versa.
Way.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce put Taylor Swift on the map.
Oh yeah. So it's been nice to have Taylor Swift, something new, some new content.
I know.
Oh, let's talk about our shirts really quick. Let me get a little piece of hair there.
Oh, thanks. Get it.
We're wearing our sweatshirts because Kristen has on the Always August crew neck, and I have on the Sweet Summer hoodie because we're doing a little winter clearance sale, a winter closeout, because Heather, my sister-in-law who runs the website, she's starting a new summer line. Summer the season, not the girl.
Right.
But it's going to be some cute summer apparel. So we sort of want to get rid of any of the sweatshirts that we sort of have. So I'll post the website in the video. I'll link it in here. However, just keep a watch on it. I'll post it on our Instagram as well. But I think she's doing like 30% off the hoodies.
Awesome.
So just trying to get rid of them, get ready for the summer nights, bundle up in a crew neck or a hoodie.
Love it. Also, why don't you tell people, if this is maybe the first time that they're listening, like why we are selling shirts and whatever, sweatshirts, and where the money's going and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So my sister-in-law, Heather, is really good at making things, crafty things.
Yeah.
And she wanted to find a way to like help myself and Doug sort of honor Summer in a way that like we really didn't know how to when she passed away. Mm-hmm. And when we chose her celebration, she was like, how about I make shirts? And we made, I think, like 150 shirts or something, the Sweet Summer yellow shirts. So everyone was able to wear them at her celebration of life. So it sort of stemmed from a thing being like, all right, our family wants to support, and it goes to a good cause. So I think it's like 20% of the sales Heather gives back. I have your check as well I have to give to you.
Oh, cool.
But I used a portion of our sales to go towards the sunshine bags for Summer's birthday. So Heather takes 20% of the sales and gives it back to each of us to put towards a donation of our choosing. Yep. So it goes towards a great cause as well. So thanks for bringing that up. It's not just, money in our pockets. It's not at all in any way, that form. It goes to getting our girls' names out. We love to see people wearing the shirts, having the stickers. Mm-hmm. There's going to be some really cool things for the summertime that we're excited about. Yeah. And if you know what Taylor Swift concerts are about and what everyone wears on their wrist, she sent me a little sneak peek.
Oh, yes. Okay. I'm excited. I didn't know this.
Yes. So those are little things as well. So keep an eye on that, but it always goes towards a great cause. Yeah. So not to mention they're cute.
Yeah. So that's that. Absolutely. Yeah. Ours will help NICU families. We always help out Baby Con Little Peter Helping Families, which they help NICU families. They directly support them and, just help out with food or gas money and stuff like that, bills or whatever. So yeah, it all goes to
and that directly helped you with August, and they sent us something with Summer as well.
They're great, and we just love seeing it. Like I FaceTime my mom the other day, and I had on my August sweatshirt, my other one, my maroon one, and she had hers on, and I was like, oh my gosh, twins. She was like, I'm so cozy in this. And so yeah, it's just cute. It's like, oh, when I see people wearing it, it just makes me so happy.
Yeah, so not only are you supporting a good cause, you're just making us feel better.
So thanks.
Making our little heart smile, just a little, like our Grinch hearts, just like,
it's just growing a little bit more every time we see it.
Yeah, so thank you for supporting, and it all goes towards a good cause.
Yes, it does.
Yes. And tag us if you do wear them, or send us a picture or something.
I know, yeah, we love it.
We love it. All right, so you went to Puerto Rico.
We did, yeah, that's why we didn't have an episode last week. Right? Yeah.
Tell me about Puerto Rico.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
Love the pics.
We went to San Juan and it was great. We just we didn't even need to leave the hotel. We did for one night. We just walked like a mile down the road to go get dinner, but it was perfect. Like we just needed a little bit of pool and beach time, and the pool was right in the backyard and the beach was like steps away from that. So it was beautiful. We were just gone for like 3.5 days, but it was perfect. Like Otto just swam his little heart out and got exhausted. Slept well, yeah. And Crew, not much of a water baby yet, but just down to be outside. Cool. So we loved it. It was great. And like you don't need your passport, obviously, for Puerto Rico. It was cheaper flights than Florida.
I didn't know that. I know it's part of the U.S., but I didn't know you didn't need a passport. That's really good to know.
Yeah. So, and we very like impromptu did it. We in the past had gone to like Disney for 2 years, and we were like, we're not doing Disney again. And thank God we didn't, because I don't know if you guys have seen any footage of Disney in the last couple of weeks. It is so packed there right now.
Oh, I have.
It is
Spring Break Disney.
Bad. Spring Break Disney is really, really bad. And I guess there was like a cheer and dance competition at the same time. So like it's just overrun with people right now. No. So I'm glad we didn't go to Disney again. It's just so expensive. But so yeah, we went to Puerto Rico instead, and it was cheaper flights, and it was a great trip up until the flight home. which I've told Sarah about this, and I like the panic that was inside of my soul. Like it was, Crew was that baby on the flight. It was literally awful.
We've all been there where there's like, I hope this baby doesn't sit behind me.
Yes.
Were you guys in like the back of the plane? Were you in first class? Okay.
We
I thought you were maybe in first class or in the back seat. Thank goodness. But sound travels up.
Yeah. It was bad. It was like, and we've all been there where there's like a crying baby and you're like, man, I hope that baby shuts up. And then the baby doesn't shut up. And then you feel, man, you're like, oh, those parents must be like,
you feel bad for the parents.
That's how everyone was by the end of the flight.
Did anyone come offer to help? Say like, do you want me to hold? Like you see those TikTokers like, this grandmother consoled this crying baby.
No, it wasn't anything like that. There was
big,
one section or like one row behind us where like there was like an older woman. She was maybe in her like 50s or something, but she was like, smiling at Crew and trying to like, she was touching him, which I'm like, please don't touch him.
Yes.
And it was actually only making him worse because he like kind of wanted to play with them. So he was just we took a 4:50 p.m. flight.
So it's dark. 4 time change.
It did not go well. He was overtired. He couldn't get comfortable. He was just screaming. I mean, and it probably, in my brain, it lasted a lot longer than it, in reality, it actually did. But just like that panic that sets in, and there's nothing you can do. There's really nothing you can do. The lights were on. He was like doing activities and they turned the lights off for a little bit.
Why did they turn the lights on and off?
I don't know.
To like do service or something?
It must have been. And then there was like really bad turbulence. So it was just like
one after the other. And you also you're going home. And that's just the worst too.
Home.
You're just tired.
Yep.
And you know you're going to get in late.
Yeah.
Did they fall asleep on the car ride home?
Yes. They both fell asleep eventually on the flight.
Okay.
Poor Otto was like, I'm just so tired, Mommy. And he fell asleep on me. Crew fell asleep on Keith. And then obviously we had to deplane. So they were both awake. Crew was still upset. I mean, it was to the point where like the flight attendants were even like,
can we please let the child disembark the airplane first?
I wanted to be like, because they made an announcement that there are people that need to catch other flights, like a connecting flight, and like to let them off first. And I was like, can we get off too? Like,
I bet you they would have let you probably.
I know. We need
like,
to get out of there. Can you open the back
of the plane?
At the end of the day, no one's going to remember that. Like maybe the people on the plane were like, yeah, there's a crying baby, and they mention it to one person.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time they get home, no one cares.
Yeah.
But it's just that panic that sets in. You're just melting down on the inside because you just feel bad for everybody else. And you feel bad for your baby.
Kid,
and then it's just a mess. So
you learned either next time you'll just stay an extra day, leave early.
Yep.
Or just leave that day.
Yeah. No more evening flights.
Yeah.
Because that overtired, like witching hour on a plane.
No good. What was Otto doing?
Good. He was watching his iPad, watching a movie, and then like looking at me like, is he gonna be okay? Like, he was like, what is happening? And then he just fell asleep.
Oh.
And I feel like I've just been spoiled by Otto because Otto, as crazy as he is as a kid, great traveler, great sleeper, like he has spoiled us in that way. Always been great in the car.
Yes.
Great on a plane. Great in a random
when
hotel room.
Shots at the doctor's office.
Great.
I'd be like, Penny's like got a fever and she's like really fussy, and you're like, sorry, can't relate.
Yeah, no, like Otto like got the shot and was like, ow.
Yeah.
And
back to school, around,
totally fine.
Crying.
So yeah, like he's totally spoiled us, but it just goes to show like every kid is different. So
yeah. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
I was definitely jealous, wanted to punch you in the face. When you posted all of your pictures. And then I like, finding all my Sims on my Find My Friends. So I'm like zooming out and I'm like, let's see where Kristen is. And you're right by an airport. Is that the airport you got off of? Mm-hmm. It was so close.
So close.
That's nice. So you don't have to like be in a car in another country.
Yep.
Where you're like feel, like Bahamas, they say there's like a travel warning or a travel advisory right now.
Yeah. Went to the DR and it was like, this car ride from the airplane or the airport is a little shaky.
When Doug and I were in Jamaica on our honeymoon, the guy stopped at his family's bar.
Your like taxi or whatever?
Stopped at his family's bar and like got a drink, a Red Stripe, and like a Jamaican empanada thing.
He was selling it.
He was
selling it. That's so funny.
It was like, actually, it might have been an excursion or something. And he picked us up because we stayed at a Sandals. So he picked us up.
Sandals Jamaica?
Yeah, Sandals.
It's in the office.
Oh,
sorry.
There's multiple Sandals Jamaica. We stayed at 2 different ones. So we traveled. But we went to like the Dunn's River Falls, which is one of the touristy things that you do. And he took our whole caravan to his family restaurant to like use the bathroom. And it was Red Stripe and selling those Jamaican patties or something.
Yeah,
like
I know
that.
what you mean.
And I was like, this is sketchy. And then like, he's like, does anyone need sunblock? And he drove us to some like mall. And he was like, I'm going to get out with you and I'll walk in with you because, you know, we got to be safe. Now looking back, I'm like, I would be freaking out. I can't even I can't even go to Target without thinking I'm going to get like robbed, murdered. Like,
yes, I'm very vigilant in any parking lot anywhere now. I don't know.
Yeah.
TikTok has done that to me.
It's nice now. Like, I can just throw Penny in the car and lock the door, and then I'll get her to hoist herself in.
Yeah.
I did see this could save somebody's life.
Here we go.
Write it down.
Here we go.
If you are being like attacked in a parking lot,
sure,
or somebody's like come in, fall to the ground and go under your car. Because they can't steal you really underneath it there. And it gives you time to scream, call somebody.
Yeah. What if they have a machete?
Kick them. Just if they have a machete, you just kick them.
You kick them.
And half the time, I probably believe if it's a male, they can't get under that car.
No, they're
not flexible. We're fast. Women are fast.
And they're dumb.
Men?
Most men.
Yes.
Not our men.
So, yeah, we shouldn't even be having this discussion because this shouldn't be happening. However, I saw a thing that it was like, get under your vehicle.
Okay.
So,
there you go.
Use that.
Ladies.
Yep. Let's just hope they're not hiding under there waiting for you.
Like, gotcha.
Yeah, where they like say like people shank your
your Achilles.
Under your cars and do your Achilles. Yeah.
Just take your Achilles out.
Make sure there's no one under there as well. It's not a trap. They don't listen to this podcast.
It's like, hold on.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get under my car now.
Yeah, so think about that. Hopefully you never have to be in that situation, but
my God.
Yeah.
We're not paranoid.
Yeah, well, with our lives, we can have a little paranoia.
That's true.
All right, so should we get into our Angel of the Week?
Yeah, we should.
We took a break on it the last episode just to catch up.
Yep.
But we have a submission this go around, so I wanted to read it.
Great.
This is from Lindsay, who is, I like to call her the OG Brat One mom. I've talked about her before. Mm-hmm. I've worn, she makes those rare shirts.
Yeah.
I wore a rare shirt. It was a black shirt in one of the episodes, and we talk about it. But she is the OG Brat One mom because she really brought the whole Brat One community together. And when we found out that Summer had Brat One, my sister-in-law, Heather, she found Lindsay's website, Love Quinlan, and connected us with Lindsay and found out a little bit about Brat One. And it was interesting because I found out, Summer got the diagnosis on a Thursday afternoon and she passed away on Wednesday, so less than a week later. But in that time frame of the week, I connected with Lindsay, some of the other Brat One moms, and was able to kind of see, all right, like, what is this going to look like the next couple, what we thought would maybe be weeks or months. Mm-hmm. So it's really, it's been a pleasure, I guess, to meet her, get to know her. She has recently started a podcast as well, where she interviews other parents whose child have some sort of a genetic disability. It could be a neurological, it could be any sort of, disability. Same thing goes, she interviews like family members or friends who have sort of been on the journey, in addition to doctors in the medical field who worked with Quinlan. Yeah. So it's a different type of podcast, but it's really interesting. And that's sort of a way she's chosen to honor and talk about Quinlan as he's passed. Wow. So in addition to Love Quinlan, which is her website, where she shares stories about Brat One and
that's so
him. Cool. And when you hear his story, it's a lot different than Summer's, because I'll read it, but Summer was 41 days. Mm-hmm. He lasted, a lot longer with the disease that really takes children way too soon.
Mm-hmm.
This is not, that he lived like 2.5 years. That's not long by any means.
Yeah.
But, it's time that she had with him. And this story's pretty incredible. So
yeah.
Should we go ahead and get started?
Yeah.
All right. So his full name is Quinlan John Weekes. His parents were Lindsay and Bear Weekes. He now has a brother, August.
Oh, cool.
Who's 5 years old.
Aww.
So Quinlan was born August 29th of 2014. So that's why they did the August name as well.
That's
for
cool,
his brother.
yeah.
And obviously you're August as well. All right, Quinlan was born with the BRAT1 mutation. Although he wasn't diagnosed until he was 14 months old after a whole genome sequencing was done to find the mutation, it was unknowingly passed down from both parents. Quinlan spent over 300 days of his all too short life at Boston Children's Hospital and Franciscan Hospital, where he quickly became a favorite to everyone who met him. He never walked, never spoke a word, but taught us more than we could have ever imagined. He had a trach, a G-tube, and numerous medications to control his seizures. When he came home after a 10-month hospital stay, after finally being diagnosed with BRAT1, our living room quickly became an ICU, and our kitchen a pharmacy. Although we had the diagnosis at the time, nothing really had changed in terms of his illness because there was no research on it. He was the 7th known to be diagnosed and the oldest living with the severity that he had. So Quinlan was leading the way. He loved to hear his loved ones' voices. He loved bird sounds and sitting on the couch watching some late night TV. And she put his sleep schedule was never consistent.
Aww.
Quinlan died at 2 years, 5 months, and 1 day old at home in the morning of January 30th, 2017. He has changed many lives and will continue to do so through research and awareness for the disease. Yeah, it's tough because I think about those 24 hours that we had with Summer at home, and man, it was a lot. It was morphine and seizure medicines, and man, we had feeding stuff at the time, which we didn't end up needing, but I can't imagine doing that for months on end. I mean, I can't imagine. And Lindsay has said she would do it all over again.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show her strength and, her love for Quinlan. And yeah, that's a long journey.
Yeah. 2 years and 5 months.
Yeah. She also said that during one of his big hospital stays was that huge snowstorm. Remember Boston had that crazy snowstorm?
Yeah.
She said they were in the hospital just watching it out the window.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
people fighting over parking spots and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. To try to not get snowed in or find one that wasn't snowed. So we always like to ask how they associate, their child who has passed or their loved ones who have passed. And this seems to be very common. Butterflies and birds.
Yeah.
Make her think of Quinlan. And she's always associated the color green with him. I always like color as well. So whenever she can wear green or yellow or blue for August.
Yeah.
This is cute. Seeing a cotton candy sky has always made me smile as I feel. Seeing a cotton candy sky has always made me smile as I feel like it's Quinlan and the other kids up there painting the sky. I wasn't expecting this one to get me.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Painting the sky for us to put a smile on our faces.
Oh, that's sweet.
Isn't that a sweet way to associate that?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, that's Quinlan's story. So thank you, Lindsay and Bear, for sharing that and sharing them with everyone else who listens.
And thank you for starting your website and all of your support group. I mean, you wouldn't have had them had she not started all this. And, it's really important to find a group of people that you can relate to. And for something that's so rare, the fact that you had her that started this, it's just so amazing. So thank you. It's
and
awesome.
we've talked before about how Brat1 is so rare it's not even on like the National Registry for Rare Diseases, NORD. And Lindsay is sort of spearheading and working with the other Brat1 moms to get it added. So if anybody were to go to get genetic testing done, who is pregnant, carrier screening,
wow,
Brat1 isn't on that list. So it could be added on there for anyone, just because it's not super common, but it could, unfortunately, the result will always be the same if it is Brat1, but
yeah,
you know, at least it gives you time to process. And yeah, so let's take a quick break, regroup, and we'll be back to talk about this week's episode, which we want to talk about triggers.
Yeah.
So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Cheers. Thank you,
Cheers.
Brothers Kirshner.
Yeah, thank you. I hope no one's looking at my nails right now because Penny painted them. Yours look so pretty if you're watching on YouTube. Penny painted mine. Can't take it off or she'll ask why.
Yeah. No, yeah. And then she'll be like, I'll do it again.
Just a never-ending vicious cycle. Should put like candy in it or something like to make it more enjoyable.
Little stickers. Do you remember like the stickers for your
nails
when you were little?
I'm like the stick-on earrings.
Stick-on earrings. Ooh, wow. I just got tossed back in time.
You should just start doing it and see if it sticks. Sell them on the website.
Be like,
little butterfly and star earrings.
People will be like, Kristen and Sarah really lost their fucking minds.
They've gone insane.
They are losing it. They are truly losing it. We thought they were getting better. They're not.
Now they're doing stick-on earrings.
Stick-on earrings and on their fingernails.
Yeah.
It like ends up in your food. You eat it.
It's just not a good look.
It's not a good look.
No. So we'll put that on the shelf, the back shelf.
Yeah, so all you little kids with stick-on earrings, you guys look like idiots.
You're such a bully.
JK.
Please inform everyone what you just said to me.
Oh, yeah. So our episode this week is all about triggers and what triggers your grief. And we just took that break because we needed like some time to regroup.
Yes.
And I said, I wonder what your triggers are. Cotton candy skies?
Yes. And I started cracking up because I just started thinking about that cotton candy sky. I'm going to take that one home with me.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Where the kids like to paint the sky for us to see.
It's a good visual.
That's actually very poetic and beautiful.
Yeah.
Don't know, Lindsay, if you saw that in a book or just thought of it yourself, but
good on you.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay. So, triggers. I have like 17 million. So
have you written them down?
I've written a couple of them down that I could think of off of the top of my head. But I feel like you could be going through the day completely fine. Your tide's out. You're feeling good. And then something could happen. You see something and it just can ruin your whole day or ruin the hour. Or maybe you just need a good cry. And I feel like we don't talk about that enough in the grief community. Like, yes, we're grieving. Yes, it's always going to be with us. And, they say that grief is just the form of love that you just can't give to that person anymore. So it comes out as grief, which is a beautiful thought. But I feel like the triggers we don't talk about as much, where it can just like come out of nowhere and just completely ruin your day. Or, for me, I could be having a great day, and then by the time Keith comes home from work, I'm just like down in the dumps, and he's like, what's going on? And I can't even express like sometimes where it came from, but I'm just like, I saw something and I just spiraled. It just, of course, I spiraled, and now I'm in a hole.
Social media doesn't make things easier.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, you can see so many things on TikTok, on Instagram. I mean, even in the news, like just going through your day. And especially for me, anytime I see anything that has to do with like little girls, like when I go to the nail salon and I see a mom there with like her little girl.
Yeah.
First of all, that's so sweet. And if you have a little girl, please keep doing that because it's adorable.
But if Kristen's there, you better leave.
But yeah, if I'm there, just walk out. But that's a trigger for me. Like, because it's just so cute. Like they have to put like a bunch of pillows on the chair because they're just their little feet don't reach the inside of the the little pool you put your feet in. Like, that's just so cute. And I have seen it probably 5 or 6 times since August has passed, and every time I tear up. Every single time.
Sweetie.
So it's like something that I'm like going to do something for myself that day to make myself feel better and get my nails done and just have like maybe an hour of time, alone. And then I see something like that, and it's like,
yes.
Keith will be like, "What's the matter? I thought
this was our day of pampering."
Yeah, and I'm like, solo girl getting her toes done.
Aww.
Just like I lose it. So that's just a big trigger for me. And like I've told you before, like during Halloween, little girls in costumes,
yes,
little girls with pigtails, and little girls just triggers me. Hi, Rudy. Sorry, Rudy's here. If you are on YouTube,
what's his cat? What's his cut theme this week?
He's just a lion.
Okay.
He's just a lion.
Okay.
But anyway, yes, that's a big thing.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
And I could see that. Just anything girl related.
Yeah.
Can be a struggle.
It is. And like even walking through Target and I see like a tutu, frilly, ruffle sleeves, ruffle butts. I'm like, that's so cute. Like I just want to buy it to have it.
For sure.
I could put Crew in it. He'd be like, what is going on?
He doesn't know right now.
Yeah, he has no idea. But yeah.
That's the big one.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yep. And it can come out of nowhere. And sometimes I'm fine. But I don't know. It just really gets me.
Yeah. Is that one you would say like is your biggest?
Yeah, that's for sure the biggest. Like little costumes and braids. Like every time I see Penny with her little hair done up like in a little bun, I'm like, oh my God, that's so cute. I would die just to get my hands on her hair. I just want to braid her hair for hours.
You start smelling my child's
I'm
hair.
Like, can I just hug her really fast?
Oh my gosh. Well, I know it's not any consolation, but you can feel free to take Penny to the nail salon anytime that you would like.
Seriously?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I would. That makes me want to cry. I would love to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do I have to pay for both of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not paying. If I'm going to babysit,
yes,
essentially, you're paying me.
No, but anytime you want to take her, you can take her.
Okay,
and you can do her hair.
Okay, great.
Oh my gosh, take her to the hair salon.
Oh, I would love that.
I keep saying I need to get my hair cut, just the ends.
Yeah.
And she goes, I need to cut my hair too.
Oh yeah.
And
she's right on board.
I'm like, okay. I do want to cut hers, but yes, anytime.
Has she ever had a haircut?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so huge.
I feel like that's pretty typical for girls.
Yeah, sure.
To not get a haircut until a little bit later. But I think in the summertime when it gets in the pool and it gets long and like chlorine-y and stuff. Yeah, so I think a nice little shortcut. Not super short.
Yeah, just a little freshen up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's oh my God, that's so cute.
Yes.
What else do I have?
Yeah, go through yours.
I have like mother-daughter relationships. Because I just finished This Is Us. It's on Netflix now. And like that show wrecked me. Absolutely wrecked me. And I know I'm like late to the party on this, but I watched it late. Because
I was watching it and then I think August died or something, and you were like, I'm not in the right mental state to watch this show.
Yeah. So
you just recently picked it up.
Yeah, I did. And I watched it all the way through. And it just, anytime, like just seeing it, because that show, if you don't know what the show is, it literally documents like a fictional family and all of their experiences through their entire life. And it does like flashbacks and forward flashes. And, you see them in every stage of their life. And it depicts a really rocky mother-daughter relationship, but at the end it's really, really good. And so just like seeing stuff like that, it just kind of wrecks me. And then even like noticing my own relationship with my mom. Like my mom is the best mom. You know what I mean? Everyone who has a good relationship with their mother should hopefully feel like that. But I call my mom no less than like 2-3 times a day.
Yeah, your mom's like, Kristen's always calling me like 2 times a day. Like if I don't hear from her, I know something's up.
Yeah, she does. And she knows the times that I will call her, or if I'm just like, it's quiet in the car and I don't want to like listen to anything, or I just call my mom. So I'm like, I know that Otto and Crew probably will not have that type of relationship with me as they get older. Here I am, almost 35 years old, and I call my mom for literally everything.
Yes.
And even if she doesn't have like the right answers, she will still like
talk you off the ledge,
talk me off the ledge, support whatever my answer is. You know what I mean? She's just, and like, she's the best. She's my best friend.
Yes.
So I just know that I'm not going to probably have that relationship with the boys. And it makes me like grieve that possible relationship that I could have had with August. So that, like, even like thinking about stuff like
grieving
that,
your life like that, what it could have been.
Yeah. And it makes me want to call my mother-in-law more and have it, because I have the greatest mother-in-law too.
Yes.
She's a ride or die. Like, she is so supportive. Yes. She is so thoughtful, kind. Like, she is the best. And I just hope that whoever the boys end up with can see that in me too, and understand like a little bit of where I'm coming from and my need for like that daughter relationship, and hopefully they lean in and don't think I'm like annoying and like overbearing.
Yes, and you're kind of like making sure you can vet them, or like make sure that your boys know, whoever they end up with, that they're going to be sentimental to how you feel and their decision as well. Finding somebody who is family oriented and, you know, enjoys family time.
Yep.
And when they get married someday, how they want to honor August in that way as well.
Yeah. It's crazy to think about in the future, because you're so intertwined in just this moment right now, because these days are like long, you know, they always say the days are long and the years are short, but they are going to grow and our relationship will look so different. And I feel like my mom and I have just gotten closer and closer as I've gotten older. And I feel like with boys, typically it's not like that. Now, who's to say that it
You'll be like, living in your basement.
Yeah, exactly.
At 40 years old.
I don't want that, you know, but if they want to, I definitely will let them.
Yes. And if they're old enough and they want to like let their grandchildren hang around.
Yeah. And I don't want to be like the weird boy mom either. That's just like, I love my boys and blah, blah, blah.
I don't feel like you're like that.
Okay.
Like, you're a great mom and very into everything they're doing.
Yeah.
But I don't see you being a
weirdo
to it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't see that.
But like, and even seeing Keith's relationship with the boys, like when I step back and I watch him with them, I know that they have such like a special bond because they're boys.
They're bros.
Yeah, they're broing out.
They're growing out.
And I grieve that experience of like, I want my little sidekick too. So yeah, like I think I have triggers on so many different levels and so many different ways. And it's like, some days I block the trigger out and I'll try to like, I don't want to get into that headspace, and other days I'm weaker and it just kind of creeps in, crawls in.
And it always happens at unexpected times. That's what makes it a trigger.
Yes.
So,
yeah. So if you see me and I'm just like bumming around, it's probably because I've been triggered in some.
The sad girl. When you see the sad girl at Wawa.
Sad girl at Wawa. Hashtag. I should make a shirt.
It's me. Hi.
Speaking of Taylor.
Sad girl at Wawa.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, those are like my biggest ones. And then, you know, just like funerals, deaths in general make me really sad. Like, it just brings everything back up. Seeing babies in the NICU, big trigger of mine. It's just, I just feel on every level all of that. I feel for the parents. I feel for the kids. I feel for the siblings. Like, I feel for the families. I'm like, I just know the ride they are on, especially if they've been in there for a long time, months, years. Like, holy cow. Big triggers of mine.
And it's sad because you feel for any parent that has a kid in the NICU.
Yeah.
Because you just know, not only are you in the NICU, but you know that woman just delivered a baby.
Yeah.
And she's got to prance herself up there.
And the emotions and the hormones.
And be, okay, what's best for my baby? But really, when you look back at Otto, or you look back at Crew, or I look back at Penny, I'm like, I sat my ass on the couch and had everyone do everything for me. But here I am, and here you are right after delivering, you know, walking around, making decisions, you know, before I'd just be like, who's going to fill up my water cup for me?
Yeah.
And can somebody do a load of laundry? No.
Will you hand me the remote?
Obviously, we had help with, you know, my mom and mother-in-law and Doug. Like, we had great support systems that helped us get through. But you're still trucking along, not sleeping, and trying to...
You're definitely not taking care of yourself when you have a baby in the NICU. And the nurses and the doctors know that. And that's why they're like, go home and sleep. Go home and drink some water. Like, take care of yourself. Go pump. Like, go give yourself a purpose, because we need you to, like, be in a good headspace. And you're just like, okay, sounds good. Doctor told me to. So I'm going to just, like, go into autopilot and just do what they tell me, because you aren't in the headspace to, like, take care of yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
So what about you? What are your triggers?
So I had one that came up that I didn't really know that I would have until I stepped back in the NICU at Nemours. And that was just the smell. I don't know if I talked about it on last week's episode. I don't remember, but the smell. We actually went through the new NICU that August was in, and we walked through it. And seeing the babies didn't trigger me. It was the smell, and it was the cleaning supplies and just the medical things and devices. Obviously, the NICU is a very clean space just because the babies are fragile. And also, we've talked, it's like they can perform surgeries in these NICU rooms. So they're extremely sanitized. So I think it was just that smell of being in the NICU, which was really triggering, that I was like, oof. Because I've been in the hospital, like, for my family since, and sometimes, like, the bells when, like, if you're just moving around and your oxygen comes off or something and it triggers that bell, that's another trigger for me. So I would be happy to never hear anything like that again.
Yeah, exactly.
So if everyone could be on their best behavior in my family,
please,
that would be great. So I think those type of, like, hospital sounds, but really it's the smell. And something that I was, like, thinking about on the way up here is, it's not even, I guess, is a trigger, but if somebody just says to me, I'm so sorry to hear about Summer. Instant, the eyes water. It's just an instant. It just happened this last weekend. Somebody came over to me who I'm not really, like, friends with. And they were just like, hey, I also just wanted to let you know, like, I'm really sorry about, they came over to Doug and I'm really sorry to hear about your daughter Summer. And I just, like, eyes welled, and I was like, thank you, thanks for saying that. That was really nice. Thank you.
That is really nice.
Exactly.
We want people to do that.
Yes.
But it's still a trigger.
Yes. And it just goes to show that everything is so under your skin, just there.
It's just bubbling.
Yes. So it's no surprise that you can go to the nail salon and just feel it. So when somebody says, which we've said, we like, just acknowledging, but when somebody says that, it just instantly, whoever it could be, just brings, like, a tear to my eye. So it's like a good trigger. But it's a trigger whenever anyone says anything like that.
I think that's, not to cut you off, I think it's important to also say, like, we're saying we like when people bring them up. So if you, like, see us, if that is you and you see us tearing up or crying, talking about them, we want that. It can be super confusing from someone who isn't directly going through the grief of a child or anyone close to them, but, like,
oh, I made them cry.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. It is okay. And if we're standing there talking about it and kind of smiling through the tears, it's because we want to talk about them.
Yes.
So yes, it is a trigger, and it can really bubble things up and make you feel like and bring you completely back to that moment. It's still like, oh, I got a chance to talk about my daughter today. And
someone is acknowledging her presence.
Yes.
And life.
Yeah. And that's huge.
I agree. So
sorry.
So that's a nice way to explain it, though. Yeah. It's not a trigger. It's just more like it just can get you. Yeah. It can catch you off guard, too. The last thing, and I even, like, sent you this on TikTok the other day, but, like, when I just see two sisters doing stuff together, kills me. Kills me.
Yeah, you were like, this wrecked me.
Yeah, it was a TikTok, and it was a sister who it was a sister, and she was getting married, and her sister had passed away. She was like 21, I guess, when she had passed away, and she was getting married, and she had like her dress sitting on I think she was older, the sister. I don't know if the sister had just passed away or whatever, if they just got the dress to like represent her. But they just had like, the sister was getting married and the dress was like draped over a chair right next to her.
She was the maid of honor.
With the bridesmaids next to her. Yeah. So her being the maid of honor. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I do think about Penny's wedding a lot. And like, if we have another child someday, like if it's a girl, like she'll have a sister up there with her. But you know, if we don't, it is what it is. But you know, just having that sister relationship for Penny, I definitely mourn that and get sad. And whenever I see two girls, so if you have two girls, don't come around.
Don't come around.
That's my sister, my sister-in-law, my brother they have girls.
Michelle,
that doesn't trigger me. My sister-in-law doesn't trigger me. They don't trigger me. I do get sad that like she has like the two girls, and they're growing up together. And my other sister-in-law has two girls, and they're pretty close in age as well. So I think it's the two girls thing.
Yeah.
And seeing the sister, and you know, and you see TikToks, and it's like me texting my sister, and it's just like, I love you so much, and blah blah blah, and it's, you know, doing things together, and I'm like, oh.
Or it's like that TikTok of, I won't tell your secret to anyone except my sister, and then the sister like pops out.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that like relationship that Penny would have.
Yeah, maybe if you guys do have another baby one day and it happens to be a boy, wouldn't that be cool if Penny was like, hey, you can be my bridesmaid too, my best man, and can stand there in honor of Summer.
And please don't put that juju on me, because I cannot be a boy mom.
Well, sorry. But, you know,
so I
mean, there's options.
Yeah.
For the future.
Or maybe if there's a brother someday, they can have like a girlfriend or somebody who would want to sit next to Penny and represent. I don't know. But that's something that I think about, is just seen like two girls do things together. A mom with two girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. But it's something that we work through, and it's going to be there. If there's anything I've learned in like the almost year, is it's not going anywhere. The grief like doesn't go anywhere. So you're always going to have it.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are you going to work through it and just realize like, all right, you're not the same person that you were.
You never will be.
Yes. But how can you continue to move on and live your life, but realize like, yeah, there's going to be some shitty times, shitty situations, but you just got to get through it.
It's that building around the grief. How are you going to rebuild around this thing that's never going to go away now? It's every day is a struggle.
Yes.
And you learn more and more about your grief as the days go on. And I just, from my perspective, being a little further along than you are in this journey, when people talk about August and say like, you know, I'm so sorry to hear about your daughter, there are times when I don't cry now. So that's nice. So I feel like you will start to build your tolerance up after a while. I still do cry sometimes,
of course,
but yeah, like it's all in how you grow, and you got to build up your tolerance, like I said. So
yeah,
you got to get over it.
You got to get over it and build your tolerance up, just like if you were like drinking a Brothers Kirshner.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, build it up. Just keep building it up.
Let's take a quick pause.
Okay.
We'll get ready to wrap when we come back, but we want to do a quick question and answer from our Instagram that we posted.
Yeah.
So we'll do that and get ready to wrap.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be back. You just tried to poison me. Welcome back.
Oh my gosh. I already forgot.
Something always happens during the break.
I know.
Typically, sometimes a dance party has to occur, a snack, potty break, whatever the case may be. But I was eating some chips, And they were like the kettle cooked chips. So
that
delicious.
I lovingly laid out for us.
She had cashews and chips. And I'm eating these chips and I'm like, these are good. I've been eating them for like 2 hours now. I'm like, these are good chips. So then after a while, I'm like, these taste too good to be true. Kristen, what are these chips? And I said, what brand are these? And she said, they're Grandma Utz. And
No. I said, they're Utz. And you go, they're not the grandma's ones, are they? And I go, yeah, they are.
In the brown bag, the Grandma Utz.
Yeah.
And you're like, they are. And I go, Kristen, those are cooked in pig fat. Those are like horrible because we're vegan and we don't eat pig fat.
Only by accident.
Yes. And so she pulls out the bag and it's the old brown bag. You said you've never bought them before.
That was the first time. And I was like, oh, I bet these are good. Like we always go for plain, like kettle cooked.
Lay's yellow bag.
Yeah.
The Lay's yellow bag. That's the only one.
Whoops.
And so we pull out the bag and it says potatoes, lard.
Second ingredient.
And I said, you can eat these, but I'm not. And you felt so bad. And I just was like, well.
I felt so bad. And I took the bag and
she threw it in the trash.
Crumbled it up and I threw it in the trash. I said, the kids aren't eating these either.
So we'll see how I feel later.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
You might as well just go to McDonald's and get a bag of fries.
Yes, because they're cooked in pig fat lard as well.
Exactly. Just why they have that specific smell and why they're so good.
Too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about, I know we're getting close on time here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the question that we asked on our Instagram and a few of the responses. So thank you to everyone who responded.
For sure. Yeah. Thanks, guys. We asked what triggers your grief and got a lot of very similar answers, but good ones. A lot of people said the smell, like certain smells for sure. Holidays, certain seasons. We had someone that said like sometimes the time of day that they got like a call that someone had passed or that something had happened. That kind of triggers them too. People said pictures of their past loved one as like their younger self. So, you know, maybe you lost a sibling that was older when they passed, but then like going back and looking at pictures and being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like
that person existed.
This kid is not here anymore. And this is my sibling. This is my whatever. A lot of people said big moments that happen, like, you know, promotion or a big family moment, someone getting engaged, someone getting married, and then you not being able to share that with that person. That can definitely trigger, which I totally see. Other siblings reaching certain milestones, that gets me every time. Like every time when Crew started like babbling and talking, I was like, oh, I wonder how August would have sounded and what she would have said and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's definitely a big trigger.
Absolutely.
But yeah, much of those are definitely the same in many veins. And I can see all of these things.
Yes.
Yeah. Being the one about the big moments really got me, because I was like, yeah, that's true. Like when you reach like a certain milestone, even for yourself, and you want to share it with everybody, you're like, oh, you just have to think, you know, they're out there somewhere sharing it with you. They're
in the cotton candy sky.
Oh my gosh, Lindsay
had to pull it together.
I'll never forget now.
Yes,
cotton candy sky. So thanks, guys, for those answers. Those of you who participated. It's nice that we're all out here together, struggling with triggers on the daily.
Trigger life,
yeah.
But yeah, thank you everyone who always responds to our questions. We appreciate it and gives something to talk about, and it just goes to show we're all not alone, like we said. So yeah. All right, give me a hug.
Love you.
I
love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Love you and our Grandma Utz chips. Have a good day.
We're not sponsored by Grandma Utz.
No. Lay's yellow bag. Not either.
Gotta go with classic.
All right, have a good day.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening.